Hello, I'm back with the tarot and psychology, not divination, not fortune telling, just as a tool to help you understand yourself and the world better through the symbology, symbolism, and archetypes of the images on the pieces of cardboard, which have no magical power. The magical power is in here. Now, I was over in England there, and I had a phenomenal time. Met some wonderful people, and I did three talks, and they were all packed out. So happy days. A lot of people are very interested in my work now, and I can't complain. I want to thank them for coming, and look, I've always been grateful to people in England who've been always been my biggest supporters. England and the UK in general, England, Scotland, Wales. Not so much Ireland, mainly because I keep a very low profile here, and Ireland is not a very well. They're still even in the awakened stuff here. It's still very Christian orientated. Unfortunately, they still can't get away from the whole Jesus thing and stuff. But anyway, enough of that. Anyway, the first card to come out today is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands. Let's take a look at this guy. Okay. Now, it's a sharply dressed guy, bit flamboyant, but not sort of like in a queenie kind of peacock way, on a pretty, intense horse. That horse is ready for action. It's raging in there. He's holding a big wand, and he's racing across the desert. There's some mountains in the distance, and, this guy represents impulses. Now, because it's the wand, it's a sensation of the libido, so it's sexual. So this is a guy with a big, this guy is about sex. It really, in a lot of cases, if you're a woman and this guy, or a gay guy and this guy comes into your life, you're going to get a good shagging. Now, it's generally about, if it is a shag, it's like an impulsive one night stand, a bit of how's your father, nice and wham bam, thank you, ma'am, and he's off. In retrospect, you're probably better off because he tends to rush into things, and he's not a keeper. Now, again, he's not a bad guy. He's actually generally his heart and the positive is in the right way. He means well, but he, in terms of non-sexual matters, he could be someone you need to lead a charge, and this dude leads the charge, and he runs in there. And you say, oh my God, you're being too impulsive. You haven't made careful plans. You're rushing in. But generally, in hindsight, you say, wow, he was right. So I'm a great believer in kind of, should we say, educated impulsivity. It's a very creative thing, so it's a good card for artists. It's a good card for a fella who is embarking on a risk-taking venture. Once it's not crazy, but I mean, like, his idea is that he's like, this is a bit risky. I'm going to charge in and see what I can do. Get out if it doesn't work. And in hindsight, he'll say, well, whether it worked or not, it was definitely worth the effort. I learned a lot. It was a good thing. Now, in the negative sense, if he appears on the left-hand side of the spread, it would generally mean that he's a shit stirrer. Not a malicious shit stirrer as much as sort of like a problematic guy who doesn't think things out properly, he doesn't really get his shit together before he embarks on a project, well-meaning or not, or enters into a relationship, or gets himself, committed to a woman or in a relationship with another guy if he's gay, and it's not going to work out. But generally, most of his attributes are good. He's the guy who's if you need someone to do a quick fast job, whether it's a sexual thing or it's if it's getting something done, like a kind of I wouldn't say a heavy, more like a professional, like that would be a good way to describe him. A professional to get the job, in, bang, out. He's good for that. So that's the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Batons, or the Knight of Clubs, whatever you want to call him. Look, he's got a blue sky behind him, so generally he's a good man on the right day. He might seem a bit reckless and impulsive, but he's not stupid. He's a calculated risk taker. The Knight of Wands.